Millions of people wake up every single morning in beautiful, spacious homes. They walk out to their pristine driveways, unlock a brand new SUV, and drive to a highly respected, well-paying job. To the outside world, they have achieved the absolute pinnacle of success. Even though mathematically, they are completely and utterly broke. So why does the ultimate picture of wealth actually guarantee a lifetime of financial struggle? You know exactly what this life looks like. You might be living it right now. You get the good job, you get the promotion, and you immediately do what society tells you to do. You take out a 30-year mortgage on a house with a perfectly manicured lawn and granite countertops. You lease 2 modern vehicles so your family is safe and comfortable. You upgrade your phone every cycle, and you collect reward points on a heavy metal credit card, and you take a premium vacation once a year to decompress. You look around your neighborhood, see everyone doing the exact same thing, and you feel incredibly secure. You feel like you made it. But beneath the surface of the shiny car paint and the heavy front door, a silent, mathematical trap has been perfectly set. What if I told you that you don't actually own your life? We are taught from childhood that borrowing money to buy a house or a car is simply a normal, necessary part of becoming a successful adult. We are told that a high credit score is the ultimate badge of financial responsibility. We believe that if a massive bank approves us for a loan, it must mean we can actually afford the payments. But the real reason the system works this way is much stranger. A credit score does not measure your wealth. It measures your profitability to the banking sector. It is quite literally a grade on how well you play the game of debt. Think of your financial life like a massive wooden bucket. Your salary is the fresh water pouring in at the very top. You work 40, maybe 50 hours a week to keep that water flowing. But the mortgage, the car payments, the credit card interest, and the endless monthly services are all massive holes drilled into the bottom of the bucket. You can pour water in for 40 consecutive years, working yourself to absolute exhaustion, but the bucket will always remain perfectly empty. Most people disagree about this. If you listen to traditional financial advice, you will hear people fiercely defend the 30-year mortgage as the greatest wealth-building tool in human history. They will tell you that leveraging debt is the only way the middle class can ever get ahead. Some economists argue the opposite. They point out that a modern mortgage is structured so that for the first 10 years, you are almost entirely paying interest. You're effectively just renting the money from the bank while you personally carry all the physical risk of a homeowner. Here is where people are split. Is leveraging your income to buy the American dream a brilliant investment or a carefully designed cage? People don't make bad money decisions. They respond to the environment around them. And your environment has completely redefined what success actually means. Society has convinced us that success looks like the physical objects we possess. But in reality, we have quietly turned the American dream into a lifelong subscription service. You are essentially paying banks a massive monthly premium just for the privilege of looking rich. When you finance a depreciating asset like a luxury vehicle, you're doing something terrifying. You are taking your future labor, packaging it up, and handing it over to a financial institution today. You are mathematically guaranteeing that you will be forced to wake up next month and the month after that just to pay for a decision you made 3 years ago. You are trading a completely non-renewable resource, your finite time on Earth, for a piece of metal that loses 10% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. This is the defining characteristic of the modern middle class. It isn't wealth, it is the highly leveraged illusion of wealth. Look at this exact same situation from a completely different economic position. How do the ultra-wealthy view the beautiful, manicured, middle-class suburban lifestyle? They do not see a neighborhood of successful professionals. They see a highly reliable, incredibly predictable revenue stream. To the wealthy, your car payment is not a vehicle, it is a quarterly dividend. Your credit card interest is not a penalty, it is their passive income. The biggest financial advantage isn't intelligence, it's which game you're playing. The middle class is playing a game of visual status. They want the driveway to look impressive. They want the kitchen to look modern. They want their peers to look at them and feel a slight twinge of jealousy. They are terrified of looking poor. But the wealthy are playing a game of cash-flowing ownership. They know that true wealth is completely invisible. True wealth is not a leased SUV. True wealth is the freedom to wake up on a Tuesday morning and do whatever you want. True wealth is options. The wealthy do not buy status with debt. They buy cash-flowing assets, and they let the profit from those assets quietly pay for the status later. They refuse to pay the subscription fee. So why is it so incredibly hard to break out of this cycle? Why do we keep signing the loan documents even when we feel the crushing weight of the monthly payments? Let's slowly reveal the invisible forces holding the entire structure together. The system is a masterpiece of human engineering. The incentives of the global banking system are built entirely on consumer lending. Banks do not want you to save your money. They need you to finance your life because your personal debt is their core commercial product. Without your monthly payments, the entire financial sector would collapse overnight. The structures of the economy ensure that avoiding debt is as difficult as possible. Cars are priced just slightly out of reach for a cash buyer. Homes are priced astronomically high. The system places the objects you need just far enough away that a bridge of credit is the only logical way to reach them. The social pressures around you demand that you keep up with your peers. If you drive a 15-year-old sedan while making a six-figure salary, society judges you. Your coworkers make subtle jokes. You feel an intense, unspoken psychological pressure to upgrade your life to match your job title. And the probabilities dictate a very dark reality. If the banks can just get you to sign the paperwork when you are young and optimistic, human nature and loss aversion will keep you making those payments for the rest of your natural life. You will be too afraid to downsize, too afraid of what your neighbors might think, to ever actually pull the plug. You become trapped in a beautifully decorated prison of your own making. Wealth is often less about effort and more about position. If you position yourself as the ultimate consumer, your effort will constantly be drained. You will work 50 or 60 hours a week, but the fruits of your labor will be instantly teleported out of your bank account to service the debt. You will feel utterly exhausted, completely unaware that you are carrying the financial weight of the banking sector on your own shoulders. But if you position yourself as the owner, you step entirely outside the trap. You realize that a premium credit card is not a status symbol, it is a tracking device for your consumption. You realize that a massive mortgage on a house that is too big for your family is not an investment, it is a liability that forces you to stay at a job you might secretly hate. The people who finally escape the middle-class debt cycle do not do it by working harder. They do not get a third job just to pay off the SUV. They do not beg their boss for a 3% raise just to cover the rising cost of property taxes. They simply stop participating in the illusion. They realize that the true cost of looking rich is actually being poor. They decide that their own freedom, their own peace of mind, and their own time are infinitely more valuable than the fleeting opinions of people they barely even know. They understand that the system was never broken. It is functioning exactly as it was designed to function. It continuously transfers wealth from those who borrow to buy the present to those who lend to own the future. It rewards patience, and it severely punishes the desire for immediate gratification. When you finally see the trap for what it is, the entire world looks different. You stop viewing debt as a normal part of life, and you start viewing it as a massive emergency. You stop trying to make your bucket look shiny on the outside, and you start furiously plugging the holes on the inside. The choice is not about how much money you make. It is entirely about who actually gets to keep it.